Hi, I'm Andrei from ImpactEtching.com. New video about improvements to the perimeter walk function that we've just released for the 300 series machines. What is the perimeter walk? Perimeter walk is the function that we've introduced maybe around 11, 12 years ago, and it allows you to walk the engraving head around the perimeter of your future engraving, like outmost pixels that will be engraved, so that you can see where your future engraving will actually be positioned on the stone. Originally, when we came up with perimeter walk, it was mostly designed for engraving on the irregular shaped monuments, so that if you have a monument that is not exactly square, that, for example, kind of has a irregular shape, that you make sure that your engraving fits the shape of the monument and that never slides off the surface of the monument. But from some reason, perimeter walk became so popular that everybody wanted it. And calculating perimeter is not a very trivial algorithm, so it always had some bugs. So this year we finally sat down and we fixed absolute majority of bugs that we had in the perimeter walk. It will only work if you have a newer line of our machines, 300, Diamond H 300, no matter what size it is. And to install it, all you need to do is to run the installer program, the direct link to which I will provide in the description to this video. If you're watching this video, just go to the description, click on that link, download it. When you try to run it or when you try to download it, your browser might not be happy with it. Just click through it, then just run that exe file without uninstalling your current version, and you will get new version of perimeter walk. But now I wanted to show you how it looks and how it works. So I'm going to start DG Studio here, and I'm going to initialize my machine first. And then let's assume, so the stone I have for testing here, this is like my home office setting. Obviously, in the real world scenario, you will either have machine located on top of the stone if it's compact one, or you have the stone inside of the frame of the machine if it's Max or Super Max model. But for our demonstration, this setting is just as good. So let's assume I'm creating the, I'm about to create the engraving, which is, this is approximately 16 inches by 10 inches. So I'm going to position my head in some starting position. Okay, and I'm going to open the image that is kind of very characteristic of the troubles we had previously with the perimeter walk. Perimeter walk really didn't like the layouts where you had a lot of disjointed elements located at some distance between each other with black areas around them. So that is where perimeter walk was struggling. So, and this one, well, I think it's good for our test, 11 by 9. So I'm running start etching job. It needs a little bit of time to calculate. And then I'm clicking perimeter walk. It now shows you perimeter. We pretty much completely rewritten this algorithm. It now works correctly, I would say, in 99.9% of cases. And whenever it doesn't give you like perfect perimeter, what you can do, you can play a little bit with these two sliders that we gave you. The first one controls how precisely it tracks the outline. So the left is better. The left is more fine tracking. And the second one is controlling perimeter concavity. That is how deeply into those kind of voids the perimeter will go. In majority of cases, when you just engrave the flat kind of stone, the regular size, it doesn't matter. But if you engrave the irregular size of stone, you want this perimeter to be, you see sometimes it goes mad, but then you just slide it back and it works fine. That's why we gave you these two sliders. It's a very complex algorithm. So that's why for more complex shapes, you might want to increase concavity of the perimeter. So in addition to radical improvement to perimeter walk algorithm, pretty much completely rewriting it from scratch, we implemented additional function that allows you to actually see where on the stone perimeter will be located in physical terms. And here's how it works. Usually, when you're trying to fit your engraving on the stone, you paranoid about the most extreme points, like where it comes the closest to the edge, or where you want to make sure that it's kind of fit your imagination, where it should be on the stone. So we allow you now at any point in the perimeter walk to lower the head and actually hit the stone. And that creates tiny, tiny, tiny white dot that is almost invisible, but still allows you to see where that perimeter will be. So let me show you how it works. So I'm starting my perimeter walk, and let's say I'm paranoid about like this J letter, or the rightmost position of the J letter and the rightmost position of the M letter. And okay, I've overshot here a little bit, so I'm going to return. I can actually lower the speed even more. Okay, let's assume this is the point that I'm interested in. So I'm lowering the head all the way, and I'm clicking this hit button, and just clicking it once will barely mark the stone. So in my experience, I mean, like 10 hits will probably be good. And when the head moves on, you will see that there's a tiny, tiny, tiny dot on the stone. Okay, so and it has some dust, but if you brush the dust, you would barely see it. So the next stop, let's assume, is this kind of letter M that I'm walking towards. So I'm going to pause here, somewhere here, and again, I overshot it a little bit. Go back, just tiny bit. Again, lower the head. And by the way, once you lower the head and hit it, when you continue perimeter walk, it will raise the head on its own. Don't worry about that. And again, I'm creating some dots, and I don't know, 5 to 10 times, okay? And then I'm keep walking. Now let's assume I'm a little bit paranoid about the top of this H letter, okay? Keep going there, almost there. And stop, okay? Again, lowering the head, hitting it a couple of times, and so on. So, and obviously, once your perimeter walk is complete, those dots that you've created, it's up to you if you want to create them or not. But first of all, the engraving will actually, once you do the engraving, it will come to those dots. But if you don't want them to be seen, first of all, once you brush it off, you see there's a dust, but the dots themselves are barely visible, right? They will not really be visible on the stone. Or you can just say, take permanent mark and fill them in, and they will completely be invisible. But this allows you to, as I said, to see where your future engraving will be positioned on the stone with absolute certainty, all right? So that's it. Again, updated version of Perimeter Walk. Get the link in the description to this video. Works for 300 series machines. And if you have any problems, call me, or text me, email me. All of the contacts are on impactetching.com.